This tweet came out from really good Twitter page, More Perfect Union. And it says, one billionaire couple owns almost all of the water in California. In 1994, the Resnick secretly seized control of California's public water supply. Now their companies use 150 billion gallons every year while working class people suffer under drought conditions. And then Ana Kasparian replied, let's watch the original video.
While 40 million Californians suffer through unprecedented drought,
That
one
second
billionaire
thought.
couple owns a massive share of the state's water system, seized in a series of secretive meetings 2 decades ago. That system was largely paid for by the very taxpayers whose water these billionaires hold hostage. Urban water systems are desperate for water, but in 2023, they'll receive just 5% of what they requested from the state. The Resnicks are the biggest farmers in California. As of 2007, they owned 4 San Francisco's worth of farmland. And nearly half of Americans buy at least one of their products. Their pistachios, their pomegranate juice, their mandarins, their flowers. It's all under one massive umbrella, the Wonderful Company, a privately owned company worth at least $5 billion. The majority owners, the Resnicks, are worth at least $8 billion. How were they able to take over such a large percentage of what should be a shared public resource? This is The Classroom from More Perfect Union, and today we're looking at how the Resnicks got rich. Linda is a former child actress, the daughter of Jack Harris, a successful movie distributor of the 1950s, most well known for The Blob.
Starring Steve McQueen and a cast of exciting young people.
At 19, she founded her own advertising agency. Stewart was born to a middle-class New Jersey family and started his first business, a janitorial service, in grad school. He eventually acquired American Protection Services, a burglar alarm and security company. Linda approached him about marketing services for the company, and they hit it off, not knowing that one day they'd work together to take over California's water. The Lovebirds became business partners. They bought Teleflora, the flower delivery company, and the Franklin Mint, purveyors of inane little tchotchkes. Linda was the marketing person, and Stewart was in charge of business. As Linda told the LA Times in 1993, "I've always said that Stewart and I together make one perfect person, like little salt and pepper shakers."
What? Gonna fucking throw up in my mouth. Benign Burger, oh my god. Thank you so much for the another 20 gift subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I also just want to take an opportunity to say thank you for all of the people who sub or prime sub or gift sub and support the channel, because it lets me do this show that I love to do. And it's really cool that I get to get on stream and say whatever the fuck I want. And there are so few people that get to do that are not beholden to sponsors or ads or some other stupid bullshit. And I can't believe I get to have a show where I can say whatever I fucking want and not have to play nice with shitty people.
DNML.
Or play nice with capital. Like that I can get on my show and say fuck Chevron and I don't have to give a fuck. Like that is exclusively and only because you guys help support the channel. So if you have a Prime sub that's sitting around that you haven't used, please feel free to use it here. Or if you would like to support the channel with a tier 1 or a gift sub to people who can't tier 1, I would really appreciate it. And it's really cool that I get to do this show. And it's really cool that you guys let me do this show. So shout out to you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, and then I also get to say fuck Amazon. Yeah. That I can say whatever I want. That unlike even the Young Turks, which is mostly like an independent media org, they're still beholden to like what their sponsors need them to say. Right? So yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for letting me do this. And thank you for supporting the channel. And the only reason I get to do these streams and do this show is because you guys sub, gift sub, prime sub, and help support me. So thank you. Thank you. Independently coming to you from the Poly Market Studios. Pedro, thank you for the Prime. Evolver, thank you for the Prime. Hapahan, thank you for the 5 gift sub. Bamari, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Brightside News, thank you for the 2 months. 22, thank you for the Prime. Oliver, thank you for the tier 1. Overga, thank you for the 47 month. Girthburger, thank you for the 23 months. Thank you guys. Thank you. All right, let's finish this video. Well, actually, before we finish this video, now that we have an idea of what the video is about, 2 minutes in, we'll watch the rest of it in a second. I want to see what Ana Kasparian had to say about this. California, and especially Los Angeles, is controlled by the Democrats. They are responsible. No more passing the buck. Our mayor, who was in Ghana as fires exploded in our city, cut the fire budget by $17 million. Endless amounts of money funneled into bullshit, scammer, homeless nonprofits. We're the highest taxed yet. We have encampments and squalor everywhere. Even worse, we don't have enough firefighters to respond to the absolute disaster we're experiencing right now. Rather than conserve the record rain we got last year, we just drained it into the ocean. We are a failing city run by a sick excuse for local government. You want to radicalize people against modern Democratic Party? Send them to LA. She really saw the fires and said, how do I make this about homeless people? With my last breath, I curse the homeless. Which is just such a misunderstanding of like all of the culmination of events that have caused the fire to rage out of control. Lance from the Surfs, friend of the channel, posted this infographic that shows the budget in LA and how the money has been spent. And as you can see, yes, this is true. The fire department did get cut. It did receive in 2024-2025 fiscal year, it received budget cuts towards the fire department. They lost, let me find it. They lost $17.6 million. They lost $17 million to budget cuts. And what's that? We spent $126 million on the fucking police? No, for sure. It's just the Democrats. That's why the problem is getting so bad. Yeah, for sure. It can't possibly be that we're just giving the money to the police officers who do jack shit with it except kill people's fucking dogs. They stop crimes? I have to pull this photo up. Wait. You guys will like this one. You guys don't like this one. It's a post someone made that said, "Don't worry, LA, I got this." And they're aiming their gun at the sky. And then it said, "The LAPD." Oh no, a new chatter. Following since 29 minutes. No. Yeah, the police do no good.
I started blasting.
You can't be serious. I have a quick question for you. When was the last time the police helped you? When was the last time you were personally helped by the police? Because what's really weird is I can't remember the last time somebody called the police. I can't remember the last time someone I personally know called the police and the police helped them, but I can think of countless times that the police made people that I know has made their lives more difficult. You know, it would be great if the budget that we put, the money that we dumped into police officers being able to have the nicest guns and the nicest cars, if we instead use that money to I don't know, pay teachers more. Or, fuck, I don't know, fund school lunches. Or, I don't know, housing first policies that are financially the best decision for a city, by the way, as proven by countless other housing first policies in countless other cities and countless other states and countless other countries. The best economic decision for an economy is to simply house the homeless people. I'm sorry, but sending the police to go kill a homeless person or move them isn't going to fix the problem. It's just going to make it worse. To blame this shit on like homeless people is crazy. But we'll get back to the video.
While 40 founded her own industry, agriculture. They got into the pistachio business. Linda said, "We've done more for the pistachio than anyone ever since it was planted in the Garden of Eden. My husband should be canonized for all the work he's done." They started branching into other products: almonds, pomegranates, citrus, wine, and acquiring more and more land to cover it, including some very important land in Kern County, which granted them water rights in the area. As the Resnicks were building their empire, the state of California was building new water infrastructure with taxpayer money. California's natural water supply is very inconsistent. Vastly differing amounts of rainfall means the state can go from surplus to drought and back very easily. So they build water banks to store water during surpluses to have during droughts. One important storage facility is the Kern Water Bank, started in 1988. The facility was built with hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars, which could have been a good thing. The people of California would have owned the water. But there were two Californians thirstier than the rest, and they wanted more water: Linda and Stuart Resnick, and they had a lot of political power. We'll get to that. In 1994, state water officials, water infrastructure contractors, and agricultural landowners with water rights arranged a secretive meeting at a resort in Monterey Bay, California. These groups, a mix of private companies and public agencies, rewrote California's water rules without any input from voters, taxpayers, or legislators. The new rules, called the Monterey Plus Agreement or the Monterey Amendments, were devastating for working Californians, and great for agriculture billionaires. The original code included urban preference, a long-standing rule that in times of drought, the state water board would give urban areas, where people live, access to water supplies before agricultural interests. Monterey axed that. That means that in times of drought, the water systems for normal Californians would have to buy water from private companies, because they weren't getting it from the state. The new agreement also loosened regulations on paper water. That's water that doesn't necessarily exist anywhere but on paper. The full quantities of water that providers could have, but don't actually need to have. Today, 5 times as much water has been promised and sold as actually exists. And importantly, the meeting changed ownership of the Kern Water Bank. What once belonged to the state was transferred to a few private water contractors, one of which was Westside Mutual, a wholly owned subsidiary of Wonderful Foods. The wonderful employee who runs Westside, Bill Phillimore, is the chairman of the public organization that manages the Kern Water Bank. Boom. One secret meeting, and the Resnicks owned nearly 60% of an important California water resource, built with hundreds of millions of dollars in taxpayer money. The new ownership, combined with the rules on paper and surplus water, meant that during times of drought, the Resnicks could sell Kern water back to the state water systems. They took Californian taxpayers' water and sold it back to them, both literally.
Capitalism breeds innovation. The innovation. Okay, I might be friendly firing and maybe like I'm misunderstanding what you're trying to say, Buggy Momo. Wonder what political party was dominating California at that time. If you're trying to suggest that the Democrats are to blame, I don't know how to explain this, but like you will not find people who like the Democrats here. In fact, you will struggle to find a Californian that isn't a neolib that likes Gavin Newsom. Just because we dislike Republicans more doesn't mean we like Democrats. Unless you meant something different, in which case I apologize, which is what I said initially. And I would love to know what you meant. Like, as far as I'm concerned, Democrats are just neolibs, which are only slightly better than Republicans, whom are very evil.
Literally as the water supply, and also to grow expensive food like gourmet pistachios and pomegranate juice. They converted the people's water into products many can't afford. And that's just one water bank. The Resnicks also have control of other water boards and have been sued for directing more water towards their properties.
I haven't, Cheddar.
So how do they get away with this Chinatown-level chicanery?
Gonna be a lot of irate citizens when they find out that they're paying for water that they're not gonna get.
With philanthropy. The Resnicks donate millions of dollars to politicians and research institutions, which help them secure control over water systems, and even get more water and more taxpayer funding. One important project is the proposed California Delta Tunnel, a taxpayer-funded project which would send water from Northern California to Central, where the Resnicks farms are. They've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on state and federal legislation and politicians who support the tunnel project. But their favorite politician is Senator Dianne Feinstein.
You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway.
Chair of the Energy and Water Subcommittee. She's a close personal friend of the Resnicks, attending their holiday parties in Aspen and maintaining.
Personally, I think both parties are responsible. Sorry, Denims. Oh, no. That's why I said, sorry if I'm friendly firing. Yes, both parties are very responsible. The difference between the Republican and the Democratic Party, as far as I'm concerned, is just about, it's the difference between like 90% Hitler and like 110% Hitler. At the end of the day, there is a reason. Oh man, I saw such a good, maybe somebody can find it for me. There was a very good quote tweet of Obama and Trump sitting next to each other during Jimmy Carter's funeral. And it was a picture of, sorry, it was a video from Dan Carlin. Dan Carlin? No, wait. Not Dan Carlin. What the fuck am I trying to think of? George Carlin. Sorry. Brain fart. It was a video from George Carlin talking about how all of these people are out to get you. I don't know, again, if anyone can find it. Or if anyone saw the post I'm talking about. I forgot to save it like a fool. It was this one, but like the quote tweet actually had the original video. It's a big club and you ain't in it. Only difference is that Republicans will be upfront on how they're going to fuck you and the Democrats will hide on how they're going to fuck you. Well, the difference is that like Democrats will still pretend to be like socially liberal, culturally liberal, and they'll be like, they'll say, yeah, gay people are allowed to work without discrimination as long as we can still exploit your labor. And Republicans will say, well, we want to exploit your labor and also we hate gay people. That's the primary difference.